Today on J&J Toy Giants.
No. Where is it? Come on, it's in here somewhere. No! I forgot to do the intro. No!
Yes, friends, welcome to a brand new episode of J&J Toy Giants, where we're going to do the intro this way because some dum-dum forgot to film. Today we're going to start off with Buzz Off from the Masters of the Universe Origins, new for 22. And this guy looks like he means business. Not to be confused with this guy, because this guy clearly does a lot of steroids. But not to be confused with this guy, because this guy's the original and is worth $5 million and I'm broke. And then there's this guy who looks like Bruce Lee on HGH. Back to the show.
Alright, so the very first one we're going to go over today on this unboxing is Buzz Off. And Buzz Off, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, is Andrenid, a insect-like creature, and they live in Eternia, a part of Eternia, but then come into the under attack from Skeletor and his evil minions, and therefore he decides to assist He-Man in battling Skeletor, and so that's why he actually has these wings that allows him to fly, and he has claws for hands. They look like lobster claws, but he's supposed to be a bee, so it doesn't really make sense that he has claws instead of a stinger. But far be it from me to make sense into this cartoon or intellectual property that I love. So Mattel actually did a really good job, re-releasing these exactly how the molds were. One begs the question as to what happens to these molds if they were actually based on the 80s. So were they redone, or did they have the same molds from the beginning and they just had to dust them off from storage or whatever? But be that as it may, this actual wings, they fold down just in case if you want to display them, and not have them up. But I'm probably going to have them like that too, just maybe a little bit like this. And of course, this actually comes off so you can see his face. Not much to say about them. He didn't come with any extra hands or anything. It just basically came with this axe that you're able to put it. It was actually pretty hard to put it in his hands. I will say getting him out of the package was a little bit of a chore because, whenever they have them in the package, just so they don't fall out, they actually have these like little plastic rubbery type things where they're really, really tight, but they're actually made out of plastic. And when I tried to take him out, his whole torso just came off of his body, which I was like, no, please don't break, because they're very hard to come by. You can't really find any Buzz Offs. I was really lucky I was able to find this when actually I didn't find it. Jaden, as I always said, Jaden is like my great figure scout. He can spot a figure a mile away, and I think my wife, Siobhan, always says I think he knows a little bit more about my collection than I do, just based on the fact that he knows what I don't have, which is kind of cool, always having somebody out there looking for figs for you. And I do the same thing when I'm out there, shopping. I look for stuff for him, and so definitely it's nice to have this adding to my collection. And he does come... Where's his comic? He does come with this comic here, Challenge of Jitsu. So looks like he basically teams up with Stratos, and the Sorceress enlists his help to fight Skeletor, and him and Jitsu go at it. Looks like it's pretty cool. I was actually really fond of all these comics. I'm trying to see if I can find, and they're probably going to be really, really expensive, if I can find the original ones, because I'm sure somebody has them laying around somewhere, but they're probably going to be a lot expensive because of the fact that they're so old. So, but yeah, I like this figure a lot. The mold, I mean, I never held this as a child when this came out. I knew of it. I knew some people who had it. I never physically held it in my hand. But, you know, if you look at some of the other figures, you know, these pretty much are the same mold that you'll find with any Masters of the Universe figure that comes out. They're pretty much standard. I mean, obviously the feet are going to be different. Obviously the heads are going to be different. But the arms and the torso and the legs are generally the same size that you'll find with any figure, male figure rather, because if it's a female figure, obviously they're going to be a little thinner, skinnier. So let's go to the next one. All right, so rounding this toy unboxing out is going to be Jitsu. Mattel basically did a really, really good job recreating Jitsu. This is the actual comic that comes with him, so he fights Buzz-Off and Stratos. So Jitsu is part of the Evil Warriors run by Hordak, if memory served me correctly. So he is pretty much on Skeletor and Hordak's side, which would, you know, explain why on the comics he's fighting Stratos and Buzz-Off. He's a master of the martial arts. He's got his main weapon is his iron hand that allows him to do very powerful karate chops. Needless to say, we can all address the elephant in the room that a lot of time back in the 80s, a lot of people weren't really aware of the kind of stereotypes that people had of Asians or any minorities, any race rather, not just minorities, but obviously every Asian has to know martial arts and stuff like that, so we can kind of understand that that's just more the way of their meditative thinking back in the day. But we didn't really, you know, kind of think about that. We were just like, oh, dude, look at his hand, bro. Like, oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to karate chop you. Boom, boom, boom. He also comes, he doesn't really come with anything else but his sword, his martial arts samurai sword. So, almost kind of like a samurai, if you will. It does come with the removable armor. And I should have also mentioned that the torso on Buzz-Off, that does not come off. He doesn't have any armor or anything like that, so it's just part of his torso. But this actually comes off. You can just unhinge them right here, and you can see the real muscular physique of that is Jitsu. So his head sculpt is kind of off a little bit. I mean, his eyes are a little bit too far apart for my taste. And again, I'm not sure if it was just the way the paint application was, but just like I mentioned with Clam Champ on another video, that the paint on the hairline is not that great, as you can see here. But I mean, I like it. I'm not a like, I guess you could say, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not a real big like nitpicker. That's what I was looking for. So I'm not a big nitpicker as far as what I needed to be perfect. And if this kind of stuff for people who are like really, really into collecting and they need everything perfect, this would bug them, you know. And even if they're mock collectors, that would also bug them too, because now they got to buy another one. And who knows how many people or how many, you know, figures are like this. You know what I mean? And there are some people that were like, oh, well, that's even more more valuable. That's what I can't really think of any words today. Yeah, so it's even more valuable because it has that, you know, that issue with the hairline. So there are a lot of people that actually make figures out to be more valuable than they really are. It's just a mistake that the factory made when they were putting on the paint application. But I like this, you know, because I like to have at least one good guy, one bad guy for everyone that the ones that I have. Some of them, I think I have more bad guys than good guys. I think I got to really check to see what I have, because I have them all mixed up with my Masters of the WWE Universe as well. So definitely going to see exactly how much I have. But I'm also in the hunt for the Sorceress, and I need to get that other Stratos too to add to my collection. But all in all, I really, really like this figure. The joints are pretty much not loose, but they're loose enough. They're not stiff. And I don't see anything else wrong with the molds. I mean, you can see that the paint application is pretty cool or pretty good. Well, you can see a little bit on the boots here. Paint application just went a little bit over into the black. Just things that I've been noticing lately. Oh, here's another one. Paint's been coming off on the belt. But see, these are the things that really don't bother me. As long as it's not totally like noticeable where it just ruins the figure, then it doesn't bother me. I mean, I just took this out of the package, so who knows. But I have seen some figures get ruined because they've been in the package for so long, especially if they don't have a plastic backing on the behind the figure or around it to protect it from the actual card. Sometimes the card rubs off when you open it up and it gets onto the figure, or vice versa. The card sticks to the paint on the figure and it rips off of the figure. So who knows? I've seen it. I haven't seen it in a while, but I mean, I really, really like to have this figure. I wanted this figure a lot, so it's a good thing that Jaden found this for me. And so that pretty much does it for this unboxing. Be with you in a moment. And that is it, folks, for this edition of the Toy Unboxing. Again, thank you so very much for watching this video. If you just learned about this, it was the first time that you're watching us, thank you so very much. And be sure to like and subscribe, and also comment on any of our video submissions on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and follow us on TikTok, and also follow us on Twitch. If you notice, the last few weeks at the beginning of this year, we've been doing a lot of Twitch streams. Be sure to follow us, and you'll see the link of our Twitch channel in the description. Thank you so very much. Keep on cruising.